Of all 12 books that I've written over my career as an author, one of the books I'm most proud of is this book called Secrets Self-Made Millionaires Teach Their Kids. I don't know if you've seen this book, but it came out in 2018 and it was on the cover of Money Magazine, which made it a bestseller almost overnight. And the book is based on almost 40 years of my interviews with self-made millionaires around the world. One of the questions I ask these people and continue to ask them is, what do you teach your kids about money, success, prosperity, abundance, all the things that surround prosperity, financial prosperity? What do you teach your kids that the middle class does not? That was one of the staple questions I had all the way dating back to February of 1984 when I did my first interview with a self-made millionaire in Mobile, Alabama. And so the answers they gave me over the 40 years are in this book. And one of the most important ones, simple, but one of the most important ones is chapter number 4, and the title is Failure Isn't Fatal. Failure isn't fatal. Now, if you're watching this video, you're on this channel, you're probably an entrepreneur or you're a striver. You're someone going after something and you know failure isn't fatal. I'm talking about teaching this to kids beginning when they're 7, 8, 9 years old, to make them understand that until you fail at something you really want to succeed at, you never really get tough. You never really get mentally tough. As a matter of fact, you don't learn how to fight for what you want until you fail. That's how you become a tough as nails entrepreneur. You fail your way to the toughness, because the masses see failure as the ultimate letdown. I mean, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed that I failed. My family knows, my friends know, the world knows. And oh my gosh, I shrivel back to my comfort zone, back to maybe a job that I can do in my sleep, standing on my head, half asleep, or some safe zone where failure is highly unlikely and never to be heard from again in any meaningful way. Dreams gone. Just now, play it safe to survive. That's what the masses do. And there's nothing wrong with that inherently, of course. It's just that if you have a shot, if you're lucky enough to be born in a country with a capitalistic system like the United States or Canada or the UK or Australia or, fill in the blank. If you're lucky enough to be born into a country and be a citizen of a country where you have a shot at the free market to stake your claim and live your dream, whatever that dream may be, why wouldn't you take it? Well, the biggest reason people don't take it is they fear failure. Well, entrepreneurs, we look at failure very differently. We see it as a stepping stone. Oh no, of course, we don't like it any better than anyone else. Believe me, I've been an entrepreneur for 35 years. We've operated in 10 countries around the world. In terms of having offices, we operate in about 50 countries with everything else. But that all sounds really good, and it's been, we've had some successes, no question about it. But we've had more failures than we have successes. But the toughness, the ability to learn how to fight psychologically, fight emotionally, fight your way back from the depths of despair of the failure is what creates the next success. The one thing that we fear the most, in the beginning at least as entrepreneurs, is people that strive for something. The one thing we fear the most is our best friend. That's actually the thing that makes us tough enough to be all we can be. It's a little twisted, I gotta say. There's some real irony in the equation. There's no question about it. But here's my point. If you can teach this to kids when they're 7, 8, 9 years old, and they learn how to look at failure in a different way, to say, hey, I want to succeed, I'm going to try to succeed. But if I keep going for things all the time, there's going to be a good percentage of time that I fail, no matter how talented or hardworking I may be. And if I succeed, I win because I get what I want. But if I fail, I still win. Because while I don't get what I want, I get tougher. I get more resilient. I develop an edge where I no longer feel so much emotional pain in the next failure or the next letdown or the next rejection. You get to a point where your scar tissue hardens the pain. It covers up the pain. And what happens when you cover up emotional pain as an entrepreneur? You get dangerous. You know why? Because you'll forge ahead without fear. You'll fearlessly forge ahead because you know that if you fail, you'll get right back up and go for the next dream. Or you'll go for the same dream again and again and again. And while the whole world seems embarrassed by their 1 or 2 or 3 or 10 failures, so much so that they crawl back to their comfort zone, we don't do that. We just keep fighting. And each subsequent failure makes us better fighters. There is no other way. And I think every kid at a young age should learn this. There is no other way to achieve uncommon success, whatever that might mean to them or to you. There is no other way than becoming tough mentally and learning how to fight for what you want. But it all begins with failure, which is not fatal. And that's what we need to teach these kids. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, get focused and get what you want. And when people are laughing at you because you failed, or they're talking behind your back when you failed and they're calling you stupid or you feel less than, tell yourself, this is going to make me tougher, which will make me better in the marketplace, will give me a better chance to succeed at the next dream. It's a win-win scenario, but almost only a tiny percentage of the population ever learns this. What if kids could learn this? What if you could teach your kids to think like this? You are building a machine, a high-performance success machine, and it all starts in childhood. Please, please, this is my whole adult life. This book is loaded with things that teach your kids that they will never learn, most likely, anywhere else other than from you. They're not going to learn in school, not going to learn in college. Okay, you see what's going on in society right now with how the younger generations are getting weaker and weaker mentally, how they don't know how to fight like older generations. Well, that's a real thing. It's not because they're weak, it's because they haven't been trained mentally to be tough enough, to look at rejection right in the face, to look at fear right in the face, to feel emotional pain, and instead of running from it, embrace it. Look it right in the eyes and say, I'm bigger than you. I feel the pain. I accept the pain of my loss and my failure. You cannot defeat me. I'll be back. That's what you want kids to think. And watch what happens to their success. Read this book. You can get it on Amazon. There's a free workbook that goes with it with a link inside. Fill the workbook out with your kids and help them get mentally tough to get what they want. Thanks for watching.